Here's another anime I watched because Ryuugajou did the opening theme, Butterfly Effect. However, I wasn't only in it for the opening, I was in it for the adventure and treasure hunting. Got the treasure hunting, but not much of the adventure. Hello everyone, welcome to the 7th edition of Newin Anime Review, and I'm Joey Newin, and this is Ryuugajou Nanana no Maizoukin, also known as Nanana's Buried Treasure.
The story begins as our protagonist Ryuugajou is exiled by his family's business, and he's forced to transfer to the Special Student Zone, which is an artificial island created by Nanana. The Special Student Zone is an island housing students, providing a ludicrous amount of courses by a huge amount of schools as well. Students make up most of the population, hence is an educational facility, sort of like a university of some sort. I kind of did wish they elaborate and explore more in detail on the setting of the show. After getting tricked to live in a low-end apartment, Ryuga must live with a ghost who occupies the apartment and cannot leave the apartment as well, as she, Nanana, was killed in it. And since Ryuga doesn't have any money to move out, he accepts the fact and just goes with it. The plot is the adventure Ryuga has to go through in order to find out who Nanana's killer is. He believes the more of her treasure he finds, the more information he'll get out of Nanana. So it's the main premises of the show is a bunch of teenagers hunting treasure, known as Nanana's collection, which are items that contain supernatural powers which the user can use for their own benefits.
Here's where people will either have a problem with the story or not have a problem with the story, and that is the plot twist. The show constantly keeps you on your toes and gives plot twists everywhere. So with the amount of plot twists, the show can get confusing to some people. And with only being 11 episodes long, it felt kind of rushed trying to fit the amount of plots they were trying to fit in. However, in those 11 episodes, I never thought I would love like almost every character in the show. The characters are the focal point of plot twists, and this is what keeps the show interesting, keeping you on your feet.
I wouldn't say Ryuugajou is a typical protagonist. He does have a rather interesting backstory, which I won't spoil, because every character has interesting plot twists. Ryuga joins the adventure club in order to please Nanana and collect her treasures to find out more about her past. But that's not all there is. No one ever doubts Ryuga's athleticism, but he does usually get overpowered because he is the most normal out of everyone in the group. He has a great sense of moral, he seems to be the one helping people in need while being openly perverted and has a keen eye for things. The Adventure Club president is Ishin Ryuga. As the president of the Adventure Club, he watches over the other club members while also supplying them with information on where the treasure/ruin is hidden. Now, although he seems like a highly respectable senior, he has an ultimate and yet absurd goal of something you're probably not going to expect as a student, and he'll do anything to achieve it. Not going to spoil too much, he's also apparently popular with the girls, as the club vice president Yu Ibara has the biggest crush on him, yet he ignores her. Another person who works with the Adventure Club is Kagetori Suzure, who serves as the Ishin perverted henchman and is kind of there for comic relief, despite his serious looking appearance. He is our star and my personal favourite in the series, Tensai Ikkyuu. She serves as the brains of the group, often the one who's solving puzzles for the group. She claims to be the world #1 master detective, and she deserves that title despite everyone doubting her. She serves as the Sherlock for everyone, and she is usually the first to find out about everyone's true motives and goes on to explain how the mystery is being solved, and it's so satisfying when she does it. And every Sherlock needs a Watson, and Daruku Hoshino, the fan service character, with this plot twist.
Is your boner confused, anyone?
And let's not forget who the show is named after. Nanana Ryuugajou. Nanana is actually a ghost who was murdered 10 years ago prior to the main plot by an unknown assailant. Because of this unfinished business of not knowing her killer, she cannot rest in peace. All she does all day is eat pudding and play video games, and being a ghost really helps with that. She used to love adventuring when she was alive and hence built the island to help young people adventure as well. She gives the adventurers hints and where the locations are, and when they found the treasure, she tells them how they work. Now, Nanana could easily tell the others where her treasure locations are, but she simply doesn't want to spoil the fun for anyone. She lives as a neat being bound to her room. She is rather lonely, that is until Ryuga moved in.
There's a lot of different characters in this anime, and all of them have an interesting, satisfying motivation on wanting to collect the treasures. And it's that motivation that leads to plot twists and interesting and unexpected conclusions. Because every character has their own motivation, it can be hard to keep track of them. Also, there's not too many anime gimmicks such as fan service and harem in this anime, which is good.
Another A1 Pictures animation, you're going to expect bright colors and high quality animation in Nanana's Buried Treasure. I can say the art style, especially for the characters, is a bit different to the usual anime art style. The characters' eyes are very bright and don't cover up their whole faces. Also, the action scenes were well animated and choreographed as well. It was basic hand-to-hand combat, but I do wish it lasted longer, especially how most of them ended anticlimactically. Also, the animation for the setups of the puzzle in the show is interesting to watch on how the challenge gets made. Despite that, watching a mixture of puzzles switching gears in between can be repetitive, since it's the same gear tools, which sometimes doesn't make sense. Sometimes the animation can drop for a bit, but for the most part it's fine and good to look at. Some of the 3D rendering can look out of place, but not enough to make it blatantly distracting and obvious. It's fine and clean, bright anime series to look at. I may be biased, but the opening song is catchy, however the animation for it is kinda plain, while the song for the ending is forgettable, but the animation for it seems a bit better. Not much though.
For me, I really enjoyed watching this show for the characters. Each character was interesting and fun to watch, and finding their motivation left a good satisfaction. That being said, the story can be a bit confusing with all the plot twists. They tried to fit so much into 11 episodes, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was hard to follow or just did not make any sense. And I believe if you're not the person who likes to go into too much detail, you're probably not going to enjoy this anime. The humour in the show is not overly funny, but it's quick humour to break the tension here and there, give you that quick giggle. I enjoy watching the setup of the puzzles and the action sequences, but I wish some of them ended better, and for a more satisfying ending, because the recurring theme in this anime is anticlimactic. I think this is a well animated series, especially the action sequences and the puzzles, and the art's a bit different, which is refreshing. The story is hit or miss and can be a bit confusing to some people, but at the same time, it's interesting because it keeps you on your toes if you like that kind of complicated stuff. But most of all, the characters are all really interesting and well developed characters. They all have a different motive for collecting the treasure, and when it's truly revealed, it's satisfying because Tensai does it. And with that, I'll give Nanana's Buried Treasure a 7.5 out of 10. Because you get it, Nanana, Nana means 7, and add one more na, it's kind of like half. Therefore, Nanana. It's an enjoyable series if you're into complicated plots and mysterious characters, but because of its difficult storyline to follow, some people may get turned off. Still love it though because of everything. That's it for this edition of Newin Anime Review. Like always, if you want to read the written review, the link is down below in the descriptions, straight to my anime list. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you can't both, go watch another video. I wonder if my score was anticlimactic. How should I end this review? Not with another sayonara.